Hello guys, I'm from Kazakhstan and today I want to discuss Borat, the character and the movie. And let me just get straight to the point. I think the movie is offensive and I find it offensive, and I think any rational person should find the movie offensive, the character. And now why, right? Why should it be offensive? It's just a joke, right? I mean, you would probably say, oh, I mean, it's just a joke. Come on, get over it. Grow the fuck up and all that shit. He wasn't, it wasn't even shot in Kazakhstan. It was in some remote sort of Romanian gypsy village. They don't even speak Kazakh. They speak some, I don't know, like a mix of Jew, like, I'm sorry, a mix of like Polish and Hebrew and Armenian, just some other languages, right? Not Kazakh, not even Russian. And then also, you would probably also counter argue with that. Well, the movie was also really not mocking Kazakhstan. It was the whole purpose was to mock the ignorance of the Western people. How they're so ignorant, they don't know what Kazakhstan is, and that's why they are so easily led into believing that Kazakh people are so retarded. That there's some freaky like goat fuckers and whatever. But the problem is the effects of that. The problem is who's getting mocked. Is it the Americans? Is it the Westerners for being ignorant? When they travel to some foreign lands, do they get mocked? Like, oh, you stupid Westerner! You know that Borat movie? You didn't even get it. Oh my God, it was actually mocking you. You stupid fucking retard! You Westerner. Do a lot of Westerners face that kind of shitty attitude? I fucking doubt it. Okay, but what Kazakhs face, not all of it, not all of us, definitely, because especially like the really scary ones, of course they're not gonna freaking face these issues. But I do read some stuff in the forums, like for example, our women, they do get some almost sexual harassment. Not all of them, but some of them they do, because when they travel around, they do get those jokes like, oh, how much prostitute and all that kind of shit. And I don't find it funny at all. I mean, I think it's pretty offensive actually. So, and yeah, that's like the effects, right? We are the ones facing the effects, not the Westerners. The Kazakh people, we are the people who have to undergo the stupid effects of the movie, the whole character, right? And then the character himself, Borat, is not like the other characters made by Sacha Cohen. Ali G, Bruno, the one in Who is America, the recent ones. In all of these movies and series, he didn't make his characters as fully representative of the entirety of the populations of specific countries, right? I mean, for example, Bruno didn't represent all of the Austrians. He was just a gay Austrian guy. Not all Austrians. Not everything he did was like a social norm that applies to all Austrians. And the same goes to like Who is America, right? That stupid congressman who was running with his like butt naked, sort of America, like screaming, sort of undergoing that defense course against like jihadists with the Israeli Mossad officer. And even like the gun rights activists, the crazy ones who want to give guns to kids and all that. They don't represent the entirety of America. They don't, So you being an American, for example, you can easily dissociate yourself from those people, right? It might hurt a little bit that you have such actually retarded people in your country, in the Congress. It might hurt, but it doesn't represent you, because you do realize the politics is a corrupted cesspool, and that these motherfuckers, they don't represent me, right? But me, when I watch Borat, the perception is that motherfucker actually represents me. So I am the retarded one, and you know, I have no room, I have no space to dissociate, unlike you. Okay? You have the room to dissociate because no movie other than Borat had this idea that it applies to the whole nation. Okay? It was just specific individuals from the nation or specific like subset of people maybe at maximum. But Borat, literally, whatever he says and does applies to all Kazakh people. Now let's count what he said, what he stated Kazakh people are basically, directly or indirectly. Well, first of all, he literally stated that all of our women in Kazakhstan are prostitutes. How? I mean, in his first movie, when he was introducing his sister, he literally called her, "Oh, she's number 4 prostitute in Kazakhstan," which implies that pretty much all women are prostitutes. I mean, because why would you say that, right? And you may say, yeah, but no, I mean, he meant just that there's like a group of prostitutes, not all women. Yeah, but the problem is that he, in other TV series and his appearances on TV, he literally said that he basically like he pimps out his daughter, and him or some other guys, they like in Kazakhstan, oh, you know, he pimps out, he sleeps with his sister and all that shit, and then he pimps out his daughter like for $10, you know, shit like that. And in the second Borat movie, which I didn't watch because it's just, I mean, I didn't like the first one, despite some moments that were actually funny. That's true, but you have to sort of like dissociate yourself when you watch that. But most of the humor, anyway, it's low culture, it's low level, below the belt area kind of humor. Anyway, okay, there's nothing like, it's not like a high culture humor. Okay, anyway, so yeah, in the second movie, Borat, he was like trying to pimp his daughter out, right? So why would he, if he does it, again, as I've already said, whatever he does and says applies to the entirety of the Kazakh nation. So by this and by calling his sister like number 4 prostitute in the Kazakhstan, he means that all women are prostitutes, and it's total, and it's a norm in Kazakhstan. And then also to support that, in the first movie, for example, I mean, he was basically when he was, for example, undergoing an exam for driver's license, he was telling his instructor that it's practically okay to like when you drive, just open your window or shout some dirty shit to women. It's like, it's okay, you know, like, and it's practically okay to rape. But he implied that it's okay to rape women in Kazakhstan, which kind of means that they are prostitutes, basically, that you can just grab her and just do whatever you want. That's one, which is, in my opinion, is already more than enough. But then he goes further with his actions, right? He was acting like a complete retard that doesn't understand like simple basic shit. That you know, he was acting, you know, he was like washing his face from the toilet, basically, right? Which goes to imply again that that's how we do in Kazakhstan, you know, sort of that. I mean, that's the norm and all that. And then like kissing, when, you know, like man kissing, and then man running around naked, like he was doing with that fat Armenian guy, actor, whatever his name is, I forgot, who was Azamat. He was playing like the role of Azamat, his like friend, which, by the way, Azamat is a real Kazakh name, you know. Well, I mean, Borat is, as far as I know, that's not a real name, but Azamat is a real name, so he used it here, okay? And you know, them running around, which kind of implies that that people in Kazakhstan, men, are retarded, that we don't understand, we don't have a sense of normalcy, that we are some obscene, crazy people here, that we're deviant, we are like degraded people, basically, right? And that's how he showed us. And you might say, yeah, but it's not, if that's not who you are, then why all the fuss? Why do you get all so upset? Come on, grow balls. Don't be, come on, grow up. It's just a joke and all that. Yeah, I mean, the problem is nobody knows Kazakhstan really, even today. Still, people don't really know. People don't even know that most people in Kazakhstan look like me, that they look Asian, There's people who get like surprised when they come to Kazakhstan, and it's like, oh, people look Asian here? Like they come to Kazakhstan? It's like, it's a shocker, yeah, we do have Europeans. We have like some Slavs, a little bit of like Germans in Kazakhstan, maybe like 1/4 of the population. They used to be 60%, by the way, yeah, but now it's 1/4. But it's not gypsies, right? We don't have Romanians, we don't have gypsies, and no offense to Romanians, by the way, because like there's a difference between like gypsies and Romanians, and then there's like anti-Semitism. Of course, we don't have those stupid traditions. Of course, we are the least anti-Semitic nation, by the way, probably one of the least in the entire world, just as all Turks, okay, because Turks, including us, Kazakhs, and the Turkish people, we were probably one of the few nations that actually saved the Jews, by the way. And Sasha Cohen is a Jew, by the way, if you didn't know. Kind of gives you some more data to think about. The Ottoman Empire literally saved Jews from extermination. Then the Khazar Khanate, which was a Turkic state in South Russia and Western Kazakhstan, back in the old days, they also saved Jews from the total extermination, right? And now you have like a Jew who makes movies, this kind of a movie about Kazakhs, basically degrading and insulting the entire nation. And also I have to add this thing that the Kazakh genocide that happened in the 1930s, it was also conducted by a Jew whose name is Fyodor Isayevich Goloshokin. You probably didn't know that. The guy literally killed off like 2 million Kazakh people. He conducted a genocide. After that, he was shot by Stalin, and rightfully so. To which, respect to Stalin for that. Yeah, kind of. I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but at least he shot that stupid fuck. Should have done it earlier, but still. And the guy was a 100% Jew. He was also gay. He was a gay Jew, okay? So when you have a Jew who kills half of the Kazakh population, up to half, right? But the Turks were the ones who saved the Jews. And also add to this the fact that the whole Borat character was arguably drawn from a Turkish funny sort of a character. Mahir Chegri, I think his name is. And then also, considering this, right, and also add to this the fact that Sasha Cohen is a Jew, and his second lead role, basically, which was played, at the Azamat, that fat guy, he was played by an Armenian guy, right, Armenian actor, which kind of like, I don't want to get all conspiratorial here, but it's kind of, there's some stuff to think about here, it's kind of weird. Honestly, because we know how Armenians, what they think of the Turks, especially the Turkish people, and Azeris. We do know that, right? And no offense to like generally Armenians, because I know a lot of them, most of them are like fine people, but there's hostility still on political level, and politics and culture. They do intermingle, so it's, there's no room to dissociate. And then there's some political, maybe, elements to that. But generally, the effects of the movie, the character, are felt by the Kazakhs, not by the Westerners, okay? So it is us who are suffering. And I can also give you like some well-known sort of cases. I mean, even today, right? Kazakhstan is still being like mocked. Unjustifiably, because the movie doesn't even represent us, right? And there were some incidents like for example in 2010, one documented case was in the UK when some Kazakh student beat up two like British students, I think, because they were literally like shitting on Kazakhstan using the jokes from Borat. Okay, so yeah. That's just one documented case, and I can only imagine how many undocumented cases there are. And then there was also like some case when some Czech tourists came to Kazakhstan, and they were like wearing those mankinis, right? Those that beach wear, making like a photo shoot in the capital of Kazakhstan, in Astana, wearing those mankinis. Then they were arrested by the police, and I don't know, probably they were deported or something. Yeah, which goes to show that, yeah, I mean, we do get offended, and we have the right to get offended. And even today, right? I mean, any video on YouTube about Kazakhstan, you just rush to the comments, and you will see a lot of shit that just has nothing to do to the actual sort of situation in Kazakhstan. People just making those stupid freaking like very nice, like the stupid freaking Borat jokes, and they think they're being so original, of course. I mean, they think they are comedy geniuses and all that. So basically, the comment section just gets flooded with those stupid freaking comments, and people don't even discuss what actually is going on in Kazakhstan. Some shit that's related to the video, the actual video, right? There's that, right? I mean, and generally, Borat, the movie, it should be regarded as offensive. And I mean, logically, yeah, I mean, emotionally, you can watch the movie if you dissociate yourself. There are some moments that are funny, like, for example, with feminists, there are some moments, yeah, I agree, but the whole movie is still offensive. And I think Sasha Cohen specifically chose Kazakhs because nobody knew us, and then because he would never even travel to Kazakhstan, basically. He wouldn't choose like Turkey, for example, because I mean, at some point you would have to travel there, right? He wouldn't choose Turkey, but he chose Kazakhstan because he knew that no one would sort of harm him, because Kazakhstan doesn't have a big stake in the entire sort of world. So he chose Kazakhstan. Yeah, and after all of this, after all I've just told you, that, there's Kazakh people who are, undergoing some like humiliation, even, right? Especially the women. After all of that, what did Sasha Cohen feel sorry anyhow? No. He actually seems to be doubling down on the whole character, and just, it seems like he's just openly shitting on Kazakhstan now. Just his latest performances. I mean, the first performance after the first movie came out, he was basically, he went to the Kazakh embassy, I think in the US it was, where he was openly, he was basically like disrespecting the embassy. He was just like talking shit. He was giving his own like press conference in front of the embassy, which is, I mean, there's no respect in that. After the second movie came out, Sasha Cohen was literally, he organized like a beach party when he was running around, like in those beach panties with Kazakh flags on them, basically. It's kind of like, it's some stupid, like, it's, the scenery was really gay, kind of goes, which was, I don't know, was he trying to demonstrate the Kazakh men are gay? I don't know what the fuck, but anyway, I mean, it goes to show, and there's so many interviews done by Sasha Cohen, and I mean, it was very, very obvious from these interviews that he doesn't even admit that he actually caused some harm. He just doesn't give a shit, Kind of like Fyodor Isavich Goloshokin, who murdered 2 million Kazakh people. Sasha Cohen doesn't give a shit about Kazakh people. He doesn't give a shit about Kazakh women who get, offended, who get like, maybe, I don't know. There are no documented cases. There's not a lot of documented cases, but because, I mean, people just, especially Kazakh people, they won't really go to the police just right away. It's not in our culture, but I'm pretty sure there are some women do undergo. I mean, they say, I've already said that there's forums where they discuss this shit, right? And there was some like a Hollywood Kazakh actress who I forgot, I don't remember what year it was, but she also like filed a petition, I think, to Hollywood to actually do something about the Borat sort of movie franchise. And do you think a Kazakh Hollywood actress like would be doing this if she didn't feel like it was degrading, like it was shading on the Kazakh women unrightfully and unjustifiably? Like, we should be doing that? No, of course not. Of course not. Anyway, I mean, I guess my message to my like fellow Kazakhs would be that if anyone jokes with you, I don't know, if you go to a foreign country and somebody jokes with you like, "Oh, sexy time, very nice," I guess you need to play it off correctly, and in order not to get yourself into some trouble and hit somebody in the jaw. I know we're a nation of like half of the people here are freaking doing the boxing all the time, but don't get yourself into trouble, and instead of this, just get into joking, demonstrate these people, the ones that actually do like joke, make these stupid jokes, joke back at them. If somebody tells you, "Oh, sexy time, very nice," well, joke back. If that dude is sitting with his wife, I don't know, you can go into like, "Oh, your wife, how much? I want sexy time, your wife," yeah. You can do that because that's part of the plot, that's what was expected reasonably, because that stupid retard, he started that, so you're supposed to give it back to him. He wants to see Borat, well, show it to him, right? So get at his wife, okay, and then see if he reacts. Hey, don't do it. Hey, how dare you? Hey, don't get, are you trying to, you are insulting my wife? Well, motherfucker, you insulting my whole country. I mean, that's how we do in Kazakhstan, right? We do that, the sexy time, where we just grab a woman and fuck her, right? And maybe then you can just grab his woman and, I don't know, have your way with her. Maybe, I don't know. Is that what he wants? At this point, I don't even know. Maybe some of those people, maybe that's what they actually want. I don't know. Or maybe if it's a Jew, maybe if it's some Jewish guy mocking your country, well, we are anti-Semites, the worst of the worst. If he's joking now, you have a green light at being anti-Semitic, just go all Hitler mode, I guess, because if that's what he wanted, that's what he, and then if he gets offended, you will just come at him with, "Oh, dude, you're so immature. This was just jokes. The fuck? Man, grow up. Jesus Christ. You're like a girl just crying. Oh my God. She's fuck, just all this shit. And yeah, and you'll be fine." It's been like how many years? It's been like more than 20 years since the first Borat movie came out. And the real question is, why is Sacha Cohen just walking freely? Like, it's just no repercussions, nothing, just walking there, just living his best millionaire life. And why? And I'm asking specifically the elites of my country, like, why has nothing been done? What needs to be done needs to be done. Am I not right? Because I think it's just the correct sort of course of action. And I think retaliation is not a bad thing entirely. It's just sometimes it's actually needed, for the correction sort of a thing. You don't even have to send people like to foreign countries. You have enough money to get people, representatives like out of anyone that's local, and it doesn't really cost that much. I mean,